going to be going through 10 different business ideas that you can start either in the new year or whenever you decide to start, but do not sit on the ideas for too long. Just think about it, think about the one that will work better for you, work better for your schedule, and just run with it. So some of the ideas I'm going to be mentioning today are either something I have done or something I'm currently doing. And these are ideas that you can start with your full-time job. If you're doing a 9 to 5, make time for it in the evenings or in the weekends and just start. And then it can be your full-time job at some point. So some of the ones I'm going to mention today are something I started when I was working full-time with my corporate 9 to 5 job, and I no longer work a corporate 9 to 5 job, and I am actually doing this full-time now. So make sure you watch all the way till the end, because you might just find something that will definitely work for you. Grab a pen, grab a paper, grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whichever one works for you, and let's just get right into it. So first things first is starting a clothing brand. Now, if you're new to this channel, or if you have been on this channel for a long time, you would know this channel is everything relating to small business, how to run a small business, behind the scenes of running my small business, photo shoots, packaging orders, tips, DIYs, and everything else in between. So I try to document the process of running my clothing brand on this channel. As you may have noticed, if you haven't yet, do well to check out other videos on this channel. So when I started my clothing brand, this was back in 2016, and I did a whole video about this. I'm going to leave that in the description box down below, so do well to check that out. 2016 I was doing it as a side hustle alongside my full-time 9 to 5 job. I used to work as a business analyst many years ago. I did like so many projects with like major organizations in the UK, in different cities in the UK. So been there, done that, got a t-shirt, and I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Right, so I used to run a clothing brand, and when I first started, I used to make the clothes myself. When people order, I started selling on Etsy. When people place orders, I would make it, package it, send it to them, and that was it. I used to make like good money from it. So I'm going to give a rough idea of like, I mean, you can make so much more from it, or you can make less, but I'm just gonna average out what I think people would usually make. You can go on Google and just get more information, or go on Etsy. You can see what people are selling their products for, just to get an idea of how much you think it would cost for you to get into any of those businesses I'm going to be mentioning. So for my clothing brand at the time, I used to do an average of like 3K-ish, and this was only selling on Etsy at the time. I used to do an average of 3K. Obviously my clothes are not very cheaply priced, because it does take a lot of resources, a lot of time, and the fabric quality is always very good as well. So at that time I was doing about 3 with my side hustle. I'm doing well more than that now, but that's what I used to do at the time along a full-time job. So I think that was really good money, because obviously paid all the bills, and that was gross, so obviously I would have to like put a lot of money back into the business, but it was just good income to get as a side hustle at the time, up until 2020 when I decided to take it full-time, and I have increased the amount tremendously every month since then. The next side hustle that I can start, which can eventually become a full-time hustle, is a t-shirt and apparel brand. I know so many brands that do this full-time, and when I tell you they make money, I'm going to mention 2 that I usually just follow their page just out of interest to see what they are doing and all of that. One is See the Way I See. She does t-shirts for like mental health. Is really good to watch, like just seeing how much she's grown and all of that. I mean, I know quite a lot of apparel brands that are doing really well, and most of them do that as a full-time hustle. The other one I know is Art of Homage. They do like Christian apparels, and these two brands I've mentioned, they're based in the US and they sell out so well, so well. There are few I know, but I can't really remember their names. But yeah, that's brands that you can look into. You can check them out and see what they're about. And if you're like thinking of doing t-shirts and apparel, accessories and apparel brand, and that's something you can also like just get an idea of what they're doing and decide on what path you'd want to go if that's something you want to do. Thing would be digital products. Now there's so much. When I tell there's so much digital product out there, I mean there's so much you can do with digital products. You can create courses online, and there are people making millions. I mean millions doing digital course, selling courses online. I mean it's mind-blowing. And we can also do like ebooks, cooking books, drawing books, templates, things in that category. I mean, the options and ideas are endless when it comes to doing digital products. So that's definitely something you can do a bit of research on, either on YouTube or on Google. And I mean, people do average of 3, 4, 5 grand. Even if you're doing £1,000 a month from your side hustle, I mean, that is something, because that's literally gas money, that is grocery shopping money, and depending on where you live, you can actually pay your rent or pay your mortgage. So £1,000 would definitely pay my mortgage easily. So that's definitely something to look into, selling digital products and just explore it that way. I think it's a real good passive income as well, because you put in a lot of time up front and then the money just, you make money while you sleep. So definitely something to look into. And the fourth thing, which is coming away from the online space and it's a more physical, is babysitting. I know a lot of people that make really good money just from babysitting. Now this can be a passive, this can be a side hustle alongside doing your 9 to 5. There was someone that used to babysit for myself. The person also had a 9 to 5, but the person would usually do like evenings and weekends. And a lot of people that offer services like that, where they would usually watch your kids in the evenings, during like after school time, doing lessons for kids after school, watching them during the weekends, or if you have any outing to go for, and they would usually just help that way, and they make actually really good money. I think average amount people charge, it usually varies, but the minimum wage in the UK is about, I think, £12. So imagine if you're doing like 4 hours in the evenings babysitting, already that is £48. I'll just call it £50. So if you're doing that in the evenings, and say you decide to do that for like 3 days a week, that's £150 for 3 days. If you add the weekends to it, easily you can all do at least a minimum of £1,000 a month without even messing about. And if you're doing it to like with like different families or different people, or you have more kids, not just one child, if you have more kids you're watching, obviously that's making more money and stuff. So babysitting is definitely something to look into. Next thing is Uber driving. I do know quite a lot of people that like drive Ubers, not as a full-time income, but obviously a side hustle in the evening. So weekends, very busy period, because obviously people are going out, people are going to have a good time. Friday evenings, Thursday evenings, the whole of the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. If you decide that you only want to work at a particular time of the day, obviously you can choose your hours. It's quite flexible, and you want to work at a, so say I want to do 6 p.m. to midnight every day, which is very doable. 5 days a week or 7 days a week. I mean, that's a good additional source of income that you can have, part-time side hustle. And if you decide to want to make it your full-time hustle, again, that's still possible. So definitely something to look into. I think all you need to do is obviously get a car that is acceptable within the taxi space or Uber space, and get whatever licenses you require or need. There's cost that is involved in getting the license, but that is something that is doable. I can get into it and then start making money from there. So definitely something to look into. Next thing is event decoration, and that's something I'm definitely looking into for next year, 2025, to add as some of the income I would be getting for 2025. Fingers crossed I get the ball rolling and get it going. I've thought about it for a long time, so I think it's time to actually get this ball rolling. So events decoration, I would like to think I'm quite good with like decorating and crafting and all of those things that has to do with like making stuff. So that's an area I think I am quite good at, and I've just done a bit of research to see how much people make from events decoration, and it's actually like really good money. So if you're doing like one stand backdrop with the balloons and everything on it, it's usually an average of 200 to 400 or 500 pounds, depending on the location or depending on the vavavoomness that is required in the decoration. So just thinking about it, if I'm doing like one decoration every weekend, if I decide to only do weekends, which is probably the area I would want to do, like just do weekends, it's not something I want to do full time. So if I'm doing like one decoration on Saturday, one on Sunday, or if I do two in a day, so if let's say the minimum I'm actually doing it is like 200 pounds, which is 400 pounds in one day. And for 4 weekends, which is about 1,600. Can you imagine? Oh my God, mind blown. I mean, there is so much money out there to be made, guys. Don't sleep on it. Do not sleep on it. Like, if you've got something, a vision in your mind, an idea in your mind that you actually want to make happen, like, just go for it. The worst that would happen is you would fail. The worst that would happen is you would lose some money, but you still have life. You're still going to like try. I mean, in this life, we're not going to come out alive. We're not like treading carefully and making sure we don't make mistakes here. Like, just leave and be open to make mistakes and be open to make poor decisions, because you're going to do that. You're going to make decisions that's going to cost you, but just know that you're going to come out on the other side. Whatever it is, you're going to survive it. And if you're a spiritual person and you have God on your side, or you have a higher power that you believe in, just trust that he's going to make everything possible. He's going to guide your footsteps. The Holy Spirit is going to be with you, and just do what you need to do. I just thought I'll just plug that in. I'll just plug that in because it literally just, you know. Okay, so now let's carry on. So just following on from the event decoration, is the event planning. So I know a lot of people that do event planning. I'm actually doing a pop-up next year in the summer in London. I just thought I'll just plug that in as well. Now I've got an event planner that would be looking into like getting everything sorted for the day, logistics and planning and getting things to the venue and all of that. And the last time I did an event and I needed someone to work with, event planner charged about £400 or £500 just for that day. So imagine you're doing events, even if it's just Saturday, and you're charging £400, and I mean for £500, and if you decide to do that for a whole month, that is £2 grand, man. And this is just as a side hustle. And if you have like a full-time job where you're getting either the same or you're getting more, I mean, that is so much more disposable income you have at your fingertips, which you can use for other things. You can invest, you can flex with it, because I mean, why not? You can't be working all this working and not spending some money for yourself. Okay, so the next thing is dog walking. That's not an area I'm really like familiar with, but I know a few people that dog walk. So in a day, they would usually like average about 80 to 100 pounds, depending on how many hours they keep the dog for, or if they take the dogs for work or something. So imagine if you're doing that for say like 4 or 5 days in a week. I mean, even let's say you're even like charging £80 and you do that for 5 days in a week. You have your weekends to rest, and you're getting what, £400 in a week? Can you imagine? Just multiply that by 4. That is 1,600. I mean, there is so much money to make out here, guys. Make sure you're not just sitting and watching Netflix every night when you finish work, because we're not doing that next year. We're not doing that in the new year. Okay, so next thing is drop shipping. Going back to the online space now. A lot of people have made millions from drop shipping. Yes, you heard that right. I mean, drop shipping is such a massive space. So first thing is finding a winning product. Next thing is creating a website. You can use Etsy, you can use Amazon, you can use Shopify to create your this space where people can buy what you're selling. Put it on there. You can generate traffic organically, which is usually a slower and more difficult process, or you can generate traffic with running ads. And there are people that are really good at running ads. They have like spaces on YouTube where they show people how to run ads and all of that, and they generate so much traffic to their store, and they're literally selling out proper. So make sure. So next off is a social media marketing agency. Now this is another popular side hustle. You can either be a side hustle, and when you get right into it, then you can start to make a full-time hustle from it. So I used to use a social media marketing agency. I've used so many social media marketing agencies in the past, and let me tell you, those guys are making it. They are making bar. So the last one I worked with was charging me almost $2,000 a month, and this is just myself. Sometimes they have like 3, 4, 5 people. I mean, I need you to do the maths. Oh my God. 3, 4, 5. Let's say you only have 3 clients you're working with in a month, and you're charging one client $2,000. Obviously, you have to, skills you need for this is you need to be able to know how to run ads, either TikTok ads, Meta ads, Google ads, whichever area you're familiar with or you're more interested in. But this was for running only Meta ads, and they're charging me all that money. And let's say you have like 3 clients in a month, and you're charging each one $2,000, so that's £6,000 from running a side hustle. Even if you decide to make that your full-time hustle, I mean, that is still good money, because what I noticed is a lot of people that run ads, they also have YouTube channels where they do a lot of content creation, which is another way that I'm going to be speaking about in a bit of making money. So I mean, just running ads, I get to £6,000 in a month from like side hustle. I mean, that is really good money. So going right into the next one that I've literally just mentioned now is content creation. So you can, there's so many ways of being a content creator, either from creating content here on YouTube where you get paid from YouTube AdSense or affiliates and all of that. There's a video I've spoken about, like how you can make money from YouTube, whether you're monetized or you're not monetized. You can check that out. I'll probably leave that in the description box down below. Or the second way from content creation is from brand sponsorship, and I know people that make bar from brand sponsorship. So yeah, creating content on YouTube is, I think, is a quicker way, because when you get monetized and you're producing content that people are interested in it, you're getting a lot of eyes on your channel, and your AdSense is just keeps it rolling, then obviously that is a more, I would not say stable, but you know something will be coming in no matter how small it is, because I know with the YouTube income it fluctuates. One month is high up, another month is down there. So just create the channel, just start and just see how it goes. So YouTube content creation as a YouTuber is definitely one way that you can make money in 2025, which is definitely one way. I want my channel to be monetized in 2025. That is like a major goal I'm setting for myself. So whatever I need to do, whatever I need to buckle down on to make that happen, is definitely something I'm going to be doing in 2025. And then the last but not the least, which I see happening very frequently, is working as an Amazon delivery driver, or just delivery drivers as a whole, whatever people are ordering and trying to deliver. I know in COVID it was quite a big deal. Like a lot of people were doing like deliveries and stuff, and they're making so much money from it. So let's say you're doing minimum wage, £12, and you're doing about 5 hours in a day. Already that is £60. If you decide to do that 5 days a week, all you're doing is drive and drop it, drive and drop, drive and drop. So if you decide to do that 5 days a week, that's £300 already. And if you decide to do that in a month, that is 1,200 from a side hustle. I mean, when I tell you there's so much money there, there is so much money out here. And let me tell you, every amount counts, because no matter how small you think the money is, it always just makes a difference. So imagine this. Let's say you're making £500 from doing something, and you decide, I'm not going to spend this money, I'm just going to put it in an investment account or in a high yielding interest account for a month. So as soon as the money comes in, you put it there. As soon as the money comes in, you put it there. Interest rates on average in a year is about 7%. So 7% in a year of doing, even if £500 in a year is about what, 6 grand, 7% on top of that, like, are you getting the maths? So whatever it is you make as an extra income every month, I think is always better than not having that money at all, because additional income just gives you it makes life less stressful. You have more options, you have more resources, you have more things to fall back on. So if your full-time job ends maybe suddenly, or the company goes bankrupt, or you get redundant, or something happens, or you fall ill and you can't go to work, if you're contracting, you always have that side income you can fall back on, especially if it's something that does not require you to be walking around physically. So that's definitely something to look into for 2025, or for whenever you decide to start a new business. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the content of this video, you found some value. If you have, let me know in the comment section which one you're going to be starting, and let's just all support ourselves. There's enough room out there for everybody to shine, for everybody to make money, and let's all get that coins. Anyways, subscribe, turn on bell notifications when I post any upcoming videos, you get notified, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, bye.